What's going on, guys? Dropadooski here. Today I'm going to be talking about the speed setup that I'll be using for Season 13 for the Witch Doctor. Now, I'm also releasing today the Day 1 T13's guide for the Witch Doctor, which will be utilizing the Jade Harvester set. This is not the Jade Harvester set, so I would be using that guide in order to have a build that I can farm the gear for this, and then once I have everything set up for this build, I would switch over and start running this probably for the remainder of the season. Now, as you can see in the background, this is not a chicken build. I did want to switch it up. Big shout out to Coven for providing me with the idea and the setup for this. He's another Witch Doctor player from the community. He's very, very good, and he, the same as I, am kind of sick of playing chicken. We've been playing chicken for years and years, so this variation is still gargantuan, still Helltooth, but you're utilizing all of your abilities and certain items to make yourself go really, really fast. It's easier to control than chicken. It's very targeted. You never can't pick up items or can't click pylons like those little bugs that you have happen when you're wearing chicken. So hopefully you guys will give this a try. And try something a little different. I really like this variation, and as you can see in the background, it's really, really fast. So let's jump over and talk about the gear. So this variation, as we said before, is using the Helltooth set. So you have 5 pieces of Helltooth on, and you still need to use the Ring of Royal Grandeur. That goes with pretty much any pet build for the Witch Doctor, as you're either going to be wearing Tasker and Theos or cubing Tasker and Theos, and then you'll, whichever one you don't cube, you're going to wear. So I have a Mask of Jerome in the cube, and I'm wearing Tasker and Theos, and then I have a Ring of Royal Grandeur. So all of that is the same from the Chicken Witch Doctor. Some of the differences here are I'm now using the Sacred Harvester since I don't have to use them on a Juma's carving knife. And for my offhand, I've decided to use Thing of the Deep. Now, Thing of the Deep increases gold and health pickup by 20 yards, which is very, very nice for a speed farming setup. So I'm just running through and slaying things, and I'm not really having to pay attention to going back for globes or going back for gold. You can kind of just cruise and not worry about it. Now, the other pieces that I'm using for this set are the Rachel's Ring of Larceny. This gain 48 or up to 60% increased movement speed for 4 seconds after fearing an enemy. Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed I do not have dogs on my build. It's pretty standard for most Helltooth pet builds to have dogs and gargantuans. Honestly, with the buffs to the gargantuan this time, you don't really need the dogs. So that freed up the slot for Horrify Stalker here, and that is going to give me a boost of movement speed from the ability itself, and then on top of that, another boost of movement speed from this ring. So I highly recommend using this ring if you're trying to go as fast as possible. Obviously, we're going to have Nemesis Bracers here so that we can get extra Death's Breath, and then for this setup, since it's going to be later in the season, or once you've had some time to gear it up and kind of optimize it, I did opt into using a Hellfire amulet. You don't necessarily have to do this. You could take some other well-rolled amulet early on and then switch to Hellfire later, but it is nice getting an extra passive. In the cube, the thing that's enabling me to continuously Spirit Walk and Soul Harvest and Horrify, I have Ingeom here. Now, typically with these pet builds, you're going to have Furnace. You're not really going to need it. Like as I was saying before, the Gargantuan Ring now gives you up to 650% increased damage for your Gargs. Then you're going to get the Mask of Jerome, which is 200%. Then you get the Tasker and Theos that increases their attack speed. These things hit like trucks. So you don't necessarily need the Furnace here in order to just slay packs as you're moving through the T13 runs, and I would just opt for the Ingeom. If you're taking the Ingeom here, that's going to give you that basically permanent Spirit Walk state, also Soul Harvest all the time, which is also giving us movement speed, and then we can Horrify basically constantly to give us more movement speed as we go through the rift. I think that's it in regards to the gear. We will discuss this quickly. We are using a gold wrap here, and then that coupled with a max level Boon of the Hoarder, that's giving us survivability so that not only do we not have to worry about globes and gold, but we don't have to worry about explosions now either. So you can just run through and kind of mindlessly slay things as you go, and there's going to be enough gold on the ground. And with the coupled with the belt here, you're not going to be taking any damage at all anyways, so you don't have to worry about that at all as you're running through the rift. The other legendary gems that I have are Enforcer, as Gargantuan is my main source of damage here, and then the Bane of the Trapped. You could take Bane of the Powerful if you wanted and switch that around. It's just up to you. Let's jump into the abilities quickly. Wall of Death, communing with the spirits. This is basically there to mark the enemies that you want your Gargantuans to hit the hardest. It's pretty standard for all of these builds. Piranha, Pranado, and then this is all designed around movement speed, all of these. So Horrify Stalker, when you use this, increase movement speed by 20% for 4 seconds after casting Horrify. Now you get the 20% from this, plus the 60% from the Rachel's Ring. So huge movement speed buff when you use Horrify. Spirit Walk Severance, this is the one that enables you to move very, very quickly. Soul Harvest, Soul to Waste. Now I've been using Soul to Waste. I've had no problem with survivability whatsoever. For each stack of this you get, you gain 5% increased movement speed for each enemy harvested. So since you're using the Sacred Harvester, you're getting 10 stacks of this. So 50% increased movement speed. Another big boost to your movement speed and lets you just fly through. And then Gargantuan, Humagloy, this is the standard cold Gargantuan that does the most damage. For the passives, we have Spirit Vessel, which is just your oh shit proc. You never know if you're going to get into a situation where things aren't dying. I haven't had that happen with this setup. You could probably ditch it and pick something else, but I like to take it anyways. It's just a nice thing to have. Midnight Feast. This is helpful for increased damage for your Gargantuan. Confidence Ritual gives you 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. As you roll into a pack, you Pranado them, drop your Wall of Death, and then your Gargantuans kill it. So typically you're being affected by this. Sometimes your Gargs will kill things out of range, but you're not even going to notice. And then Fierce Loyalty, while you have Gargantuan, Zombie Dog, or Fetish Summon, your movement speed is increased by 15%. So you get even more movement speed with this variation. Other than that, that's basically it. I will say that just using this and seeing how it feels and moves, it does feel a little cleaner than Chicken. Now with Chicken, it will be a little more lazy, right? You can go into Chicken form and kind of kick back and roll through, but this one's definitely more engaging. It does feel more calculated, so when I want to stop, if I'm running through and I want to stop, I instantly stop. There's no popping in and popping out of Chicken. You kill something and then immediately start moving again. It's just a nice build overall. So I hope you guys enjoy using it throughout the season. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I do like trying something different. So we were at the position yesterday where I was like, I just did my day 1 T13. Maybe I should do the Chicken builds. And then I started thinking about it, and it's like, why? We have tons of Chicken builds out there. Let's do something a little different, guys. Good luck with Season 13. If you guys are unaware of it, we are doing Level with the Cause with Wolf Choir. We'll be starting at 4:30 MST on Friday and going all the way till 4 or 5 in the morning, and that will continue throughout the weekend. I'm super excited for Season 13. Thank you, everybody, and good luck in the grifts. Peace.